Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be sharing a 12 by 12 layout and I will be documenting this really silly photo of my grandson here, and of course he's playing around once again with those Snapchat filters. Now I had one full-size sheet of pattern paper left in my September stash kit and I really wanted to go ahead and use it up, so I decided to pull in one more layout from this kit. I had planned 5 to 6 layouts and I believe this is layout number 7. So I am going to use this cardstock as a background. This is the color Typhoon and it is a Bazzill cardstock. And I will go ahead and list all of the items I used today down in my description box. So this is the idea I had for this layout and I am not sure what I was thinking of because I went ahead and cut strips out of both of these papers, and it was as simple as cutting an L shape from one corner of my cardstock and leaving my pattern paper full size, placing it on that L shape and just trimming down the edges to be a 12 by 12 size. But I went ahead and cut some strips out and I ended up having to piece it all back together, as you can see here. And this is where I am going to go ahead now and place this pattern paper on that L shape cardstock, and I'll go ahead and trim off the edges, which I should have done from the beginning. So now that I have the background how I wanted it to be, I definitely need my photo to stand away from that very busy pattern paper. I love that pattern paper, but of course it's very busy. So I'm going to add that cardstock behind my photo. But of course I will go ahead and add a few layers in behind my photo before adding it to that blue cardstock. Right now I am going to go ahead and remove the part of that pattern paper you're not going to see. That's going to be behind that blue cardstock, and that way I can use it as a mat for my photo as well. So the first layer behind my photo would be that blue cardstock, and then I added in that busy pattern paper. Now I'm going to mount it on some foam adhesive before adding it to the background. And this way I have just a bit of dimension on my layout. Now I'm going to work on my title, which says "You're so silly," and I am going to be using this scripty gold alphas, and these are foam thickers. And I'm going to spell out those words, and you'll notice throughout my process, because of the other elements I added to this layout, my title will actually move around just a tiny bit. So I noticed I had these strips left over after I made some cuts to that blue cardstock, so I wanted to use it up and sort of break up and tone down that busy pattern paper. So here I'm going to add that in right next to my photo, to the left and the right side, and later on I will add some of those strips to the bottom and top of the photo as well. Now I will go ahead and have a layout share up on my channel a little later on today, and that way you'll get to see all of the layouts and projects I created in September and all that I got out of this stash kit that I created at the beginning of September. So here I'm just going to go ahead and add in my strips, and then I'll begin embellishing the layout. Here I'm just going to move over my title just a tiny bit because I added in that strip of pattern paper next to my photo to the left, and with my letters sitting on it, you barely notice that Y because that paper is so busy. And now I'm going to pull in some of these brads, and I decided to go with just the solid colors from this set, and I am really avoiding adding any more patterns to this layout because that paper is so busy to begin with. Now throughout this month of September, I am so happy I was able to use up so much of these leather stickers from Pink Fresh Studios that I've had forever. And you'll notice the ones that I'm adding in right now, there's a pattern on the blue and there's writing on the green, but I decided to flip it over and just have those colors sticking out the top. And I'm also going to add 2 more in, one to the left of the photo and one to the right that has a word phrase on it. Next up, I will go ahead and pull in some items from my catch-all tray that I keep on my desk, where I add in all the leftovers from previous kits and collections that I've used up. And I was able to find a few word phrases that went well with this layout, so I got to use up quite a bit from that tray as well. Next, I will go ahead and use those little dots you're looking at to the top left corner of the screen right now, and I'm going to use them as enamel dots and just tuck them in different areas on this layout, especially around my embellishment clusters. Now I wanted to add a bit more gold to this layout, so I'm going to use some acrylic ink in the color Iridescent Gold. And this is from Liquitex, and I will go ahead and add those splatters in. And I added in a journaling spot as well. Now once I added in that leather sticker back to my layout, I noticed that the green balance was a bit off because I was not having any green towards the lower left corner, so I just did not like how it looked. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that leather sticker in half, add the green part of it to the lower left corner and leave the blue part of it above my journaling spot. Now once I did that, I split up the word phrase, of course, so it does not make much sense at all what's said on there. So I will go in later on with some word phrase stickers and add those in over the existing words on those leather stickers. So to balance off my page a bit more with that cardstock border I have going on to the top and to the right, I added in some more strips to the bottom of my photo on the lower left. And here I'm just adding a bit more splatters so that I would see those splatters on those blue cardstock pieces I added in. And this is where I will add in those word phrases over the existing words on those leather stickers. Next up, I wanted a pop of color. Yes, even though my layout is already so colorful, I just needed something bold to stand out a bit more on my cluster. So I decided to go ahead and add in these buttons, and these are some red buttons I've had for a very long time, and I'm using glossy accents to go ahead and adhere those to the background. Now we'll give you guys a close-up look at this layout, and I hope you guys enjoy the process today. It's a very, very busy layout, but I love how it turned out, and I hope you guys love it too. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now, like I mentioned, I will have a layout share coming up later today, so be on the lookout for that. If you are new to my channel, I do hope you like what you see and you consider subscribing today. And I want to thank you all for watching. So until my next video, bye.